God bless you all. This is me, Joe. God bless you. Hope you're gonna tune in to one of today's for the encouragement and the hope to keep going because we all need God's light at the moment. Now, today's topic is called "Am I good enough?" You know, am I good enough? Am I ever going to be good enough? These are the questions that are being asked a lot by believers. We have just entered the new year, especially with this pandemic that's going on worldwide. You know, a lot of believers that we've had dreams, aspirations, plans. Some of them have been scattered from last year going even up to now. Maybe some of you had great hopes again this year. I'm sure, as God always plans great things for us. But already this storm that has come, he has planted, seeds of doubt in some of our minds, and especially if some of you have been the ones to experience, like, kind of like the same kind of setbacks after setbacks. 1 minute you're up, the next minute you're down. It's perfectly normal to ask yourself that question:
Yeah.
Am I good enough? Am I good enough? Well, the answer is yes, you are good enough. But before obviously we begin to dive in the topic deeper, I'll ask my sidekick, the importance of asking that question, and also replying with the answer immediately that yes, you are good enough, and how much we should not dwell so much on that question because it can cause us to sink if we dwell on that question. So when somebody is going to ask you, oh wow, am I good enough? Or somebody asking themselves, am I good enough? Look at what is happening. It looks like am I miss out again this year? Because I'm already I was at the back of the queue compared to my friends.
Yeah.
In whatever environment, business you're in, whatever you're looking for. Already some of you are like, well, I'm already at the back of the queue. Look what is happening now. There's no work. Look what is happening now. How am I going to go to the next level? Am I good enough?
Yeah.
Should I just treat it like any other year? It looks like the promises are not manifesting. So how would you go on about tackling that topic, that question?
First of all, I would say, like, if that's what your belief is at that particular moment, you need to check back and do some soul searching in terms of your upbringing, events that may have occurred when you was young. Were you told that you weren't good enough? Growing up, were your circle of friends supportive of you? Did they encourage you to do things to be great? Or did they tell you that you're no better than your environment or everyone else in your society? In your own household, did you see greatness? Did you see people achieving greatness? Did you see people grow and develop, or did you see them stay at the same level? What types of jobs did they have? Were they actually striving to develop their career and pursue their life purpose, or were they just settling for what they thought they were good for? Were your siblings encouraging you? Were your parents, your mother, your father, were they encouraging you? Were they trying to see the best version of you? Or were they just telling you to accept life as it is? So Those are all things that we need to take into
Yeah.
consideration, really and truly.
Mm.
And those are things that develop one's belief system about themselves. So even those who don't believe in God
Mm.
can have a better belief system when it comes to faith, when it comes to actually believing that they are good enough. Why? Because they had been and grown up in certain environments where people told them that you're great, you can achieve this, you can do this, you can do better. So even when they failed, uh they had people around them who will support them in their failure, pick them up and say, no, this is not a failure, this is a lesson learned. So it's all about having the right concept in life. And sometimes it's a matter of reconditioning your mindset and changing, like, and getting rid of all the junk that were installed in you when you were younger, basically. So from family, from culture, from society, whether it relates to your ethnicity, whether it relates to your color of skin, your religion, or to your gender. So people will get stereotyped and labeled based on those things. Am I ever good enough as a woman? Would I ever be able to run a school? Would I ever be able to be the leader of a borough, of a country? Yeah. In some places on this planet, as a woman, forget it. Yeah. Forget it. You can't even be heard in your own household. So if that's how you've been brought, if that's how you saw your mother grow up, that's how you saw your sisters grow up, and that's how you saw women in your culture operate, then how are you going to think that you're good enough? Yeah. Being on that level is the norm.
Yeah.
Yeah. It's perceived as good enough, you're doing the right thing as a woman. So in some cases, it's really gonna take divine intervention, like an encounter, personal encounter with your maker to show you that there's more to you than this. Let's take Gideon, for example. He didn't believe he was good enough. Yeah. He was met by the angel of the Lord, who called him what? What did he call him?
Mighty man of valor.
Mighty. Yeah. Gideon disagreed with it. No, I think you might have the wrong address here. Got me. I'm the least in my clan. My clan is the least among all the tribes. So this term mighty and that, I mean, I appreciate it and all that, you know, but you might have the wrong address. No, God knew who he created. So he's speaking to you based on who you really are, the real version of you. And I always say that God speaks to you from your future and he calls you to walk towards it. So what made Gideon say that? His environment,
the environment, the
his
background,
culture,
how you grew up,
society,
the
where
clan,
he grew up, the clan.
everything,
Right?
everything.
So it's almost like smoke, breathing in smoke constantly around you. It's gonna affect your health. It's gonna be in you. So when they come and check you, they're gonna see smoke in there, and it's not gonna enable you to live life to your full capacity, to your full potential either. And you're gonna believe that, okay, this is as good as my health gets. Why? Because your upbringing and your surrounding has become the norm to you, because that's all you know. Now the question now is, how does one come out of that mentality and come out of that belief system? You need to surround yourself with people that that are striving. You need to see it. It's really important to see it. That's why I believe it's very important to see it. But however, when we're dealing with mindsets, mindsets are harder to change than anything.
Yeah, of course.
Mindset is easier to change than changing a whole law in a country, because a mindset can literally have someone look at something, but the mindset tells them no. So you're only as good as your mindset, because your mindset is what you believe you are.
Yeah.
You know, as a man thinks, so is he. Yeah, you are what you think.
Yeah.
If you think that you can't defeat this opponent in the boxing ring, chances are you're not going to defeat them. Even if you weigh,
definitely,
you weigh more than them, you punch harder than them. Mike Tyson, for example, a lot of his opponents lost due to intimidation, because he fought people bigger than him, heavier than him. However, there were instances where within seconds the match will be finished, because there was something about Mike Tyson. So once you get in that ring, that fear grips you. And what's that fear? You're scared because you believe that he is going to defeat you and knock you out. And not in a pleasant way, in a ruthless way. Yeah. And you can only fear something that you believe. Otherwise, you won't fear it. Yeah. That's what fear is. So I thought you would say that the opposite of faith is fear. That's incorrect. That's not true at all. Fear is belief in the negative. Yeah. You don't fear what you don't believe. You fear it because you believe it. Yeah. So it's faith in the negative. So now what do? You believe you can't make it. Okay. Now, one thing that's important is to not judge people automatically on their reasons for not believing. We have a tendency to do that sometimes, which I understand. However, we need to try to understand why that person thinks like that. Yeah, that's why building a rapport with people is so important. It's very important to understand where they're coming from, identifying the problem, the root cause, identifying the need, what they actually need. Yeah, trying to figure out which methods will work best for them. Yeah, what works for me may not necessarily work for you. You know, because we're different, we're designed differently, externally and internally as well. So those are all things that we need to take into consideration.
Okay.
So, what background did this individual come from? Okay, how were they raised? Okay, was it a single parent home or did they have both parents there? If they had both parents, what was one parent like? Was that one parent absent? Did the parents encourage them? What were the siblings like? What type of friends did they have? What was the community like? Yeah, a lot of people are basically products of their own environment, and it's almost like from generation to generation, what they do is like they're reproducing themselves. So it's certain communities have their own culture. Yeah, certain communities have their own culture, and certain communities is you grow up in this area, you maybe get a job at a local store, maybe get a job applying as a dinner lady in a school, or maybe at the Tesco's, meet someone from that community, have kids, give birth, they go to the same school that you went to when you was a kid. And because now they're so age where they're going to go to the school, you then apply and get a job at that school. You go there when they have their kids and they repeat themselves. Comfort zone, it's comfortable, it's safe. So greatness to them now is almost like being delusional, exaggeration. Okay, you know what that's for you. So laziness can creep in as well at times. There's a reason as to why some people are lazy. It's a mindset. It's more mental than it is physical. So it's more of a mental thing. So they need to see people who are successful. They need to see people who they can identify with as well. Because they hear stories about people that are rich, billionaires, that own a branch of hotels, etc. So to them it's like, okay, well, they were lucky. Well, they inherited it from their family members. That may not necessarily be the case. Some people actually started with nothing and they built something, but it took hard work. So that's why we need to listen to people's story biography, like Richard Branson, for example. He wasn't born with a silver spoon. He wasn't. He dropped out of school and he started from scratch. A lot of the greats dropped out of school to start from scratch. So if you study some of the greats and you learn their stories, take the principles that they use and apply it to yourself. I'm not saying that the route and the method is going to be the same, but the principles always remain the same. Having a vision, knowing yourself, identifying your passion, identify your ability, your gifts, what you're good at, identify your strengths and weaknesses. Your weaknesses too. Know what your weaknesses are, so that way you will know what to focus on and what not to focus on. Some people are multi-talented, and the danger with that is sometimes that you can be a master of all trades but a master of none, where you're so busy trying to do all different things at once, but you're not mastering one particular thing. So in a case like that, you need to choose which one makes sense for you to do. You master that to its perfection, and then get that to incorporate all the other things that you're good at. Now, even though I have someone around you who's telling you those things, you're gonna be frustrated. You're gonna say, okay, even with all these gifts that I have, I'm not good enough. I guess I'm not chosen. So seeing the right people, the people that are successful, being able to relate to those people, have those people tell you their stories, and hear them say it, and then see them doing it. That can inspire you, because if you believe that you can't do it, you believe that because you were around people who were telling you that. You're around people who were showing you that they weren't good enough. And I repeat, they were showing you, not to say that they weren't good enough, but they were showing you that they are not good enough, and they're telling you that they're not good enough. So you're hearing it and you're seeing it. And what makes it even worse, sometimes this person is your big brother, this person is your big sister, this person is your uncle, this person your auntie, this person your mother, this person your father. That's all you know. All you know is them. Imagine your role model not achieving greatness at all. That's your role model. So that's all you know from life.
Mm.
So once you become an adult, that's what you've been taught, and that's the mentality that you have.
Mm.
So if you meet someone who might be great, you might be intimidated by them. If it's whether it's someone from the opposite sex, you might be intimidated by them and break away. So choose wisely. Find people that you can relate to. Find people who are great, who talk great. Find people who achieve greatness as well. Be around them, stay around them, and what's on them will rub off on you eventually.
Yeah, definitely. I mean, what you said is so true. Even using the stuff of Gideon, because
Yeah.
a lot of us, a lot of us have gone through or are in the Gideon situation. You
Yeah.
know, many of us can identify with that.
Mm.
And when God appeared to him, he told him blatantly, you know, you mighty man of valor. But
Yeah.
then all the picture that Gideon had, the images that he had, the videos, the images that he had of himself is what the current situation, which is look at the clan. For the moment you look at my clan already, you know that we are already written off.
Yeah.
So already I have a bad start. So that was his thing, that I cannot possibly be that man you're talking to. That cannot possibly be my title, because this is what we have known. And even right now in captivity, we are slaves even right now. Like we can't go anywhere. You know, we risk being killed. There's nothing good that's gonna come out of us. So why would you choose even me? First of all, me myself as well. Why not someone else even greater than me in my poor clan that's already rubbish anyway? But you have to come and pick on me. No, because I've not seen a picture of success. And that's why a lot of us we attribute that, and then it becomes a label. You know, we stick that on ourselves. But you have to understand that it's not a label, because again, first of all, the fact that you're alive and breathing, it means you still have a purpose. Never ever forget that. Be so privileged to be alive. Be so grateful to be alive, because to breathe air is a privilege. You know, we are talking about this pandemic has hit many of us. How many people have lost their lives during this pandemic? How many people have committed suicide because of this pandemic? You know, so the fact that you are not alive, breathing air, you ask yourself the question: am I good enough? The answer is yes, you are. Now, how do I get to becoming that good enough? That's the key here, because just like you mentioned, you know, the mind. Listen, for me, the mind is the most powerful muscle that we have. You know, the mind is the most important muscle of the whole body, because the moment you believe that you can't, my friend, trust me, it will take someone else to inject something in you to believe that you will. Because when somebody is set in their mind that now they can't do it, or in our families, you know what, like you mentioned, in some communities, all they've done is that, okay, then our families or in the community, you grew up in the community, you work at this local store, the supermarket, and that. Not that there's anything wrong with that anyway. Everybody needs to start from somewhere. But when you have a destiny about you, you know, and that's why in the word of God we are taught not to despise our small beginnings. You know, see that as a beginning. You know, even if you're embarrassed by it or whatever, see that as a beginning and as a motivation that, you know what, I can actually do greater. Or even if you're unemployed right now, there's still a gift in you, believe it or not. You might be unemployed right now, but maybe your gift is in your mouth. Your gift is with your hand. Your gift is, you know, whatever, drawing, talking, listening, your counselor, whatever. You have to understand that there's something in you. So why was I created? Do you know what I'm saying? Yeah, am I good enough? No, sure. I have to say, God, why did you create me? Don't be telling yourself where my time has gone past and everything. I've wasted 20 years. I've wasted 15 years. How old was Abraham when God called him? How old was Abraham? You know, he was doing quite well, but God said, no, finally, listen, I want to make you be uncomfortable. Leave from where you are. Leave from where you are. And that's why we have to understand that whenever God appeals to us, when he gives us that encounter, you know, it's gonna give us an uncomfortable situation. But for that first step that we're gonna take, he's gonna show himself strong just to keep you going. That listen, this is where I'm gonna take you. He did it to Moses. He did it to Abraham. You know, Moses asked him for a sign. Boom, he showed him something. He did it to Abraham. You just go where I'm going to show you. God, where am I going? No, you just need to go where I'm showing you. Because, I mean, Abraham was doing well anyway. But look at some of us. There's nothing to show, but then we still want to doubt God. God, where am I going? No, not that where you are going is a good place. Because He's finally put you on the road to your destiny. You know, but the picture of the current situation, that picture is a lie. You know, but you will say, no, Pastor Ahmed, it's not a lie. This is what I'm going through though. I'm on benefits. I only work part-time. How can you tell me it's a lie? It's what I'm going through. It's a fact. This is how much I'm earning now, or I'm not really earning. I'm stuck. It's a fact. There's a pandemic. I can't even go uni now. It's a fact. I want to study to get my degree. So don't tell me it's a lie. The reason I say it's a lie is because we have used those situations to speak to us and lie to us that this is the limit.
Yeah.
That's what I'm saying. It's a lie. I didn't say that you're not going through that. You are going
Mm.
through that. But is this the end story? Do
Exactly.
you know what I mean? You know. So I mean, if we go Congo right now, depending on which airline we take, the France or the Belgium airline, more than likely we will stop in France or Belgium.
Yeah.
You know, but you're not going to be like, if the plane lands in Belgium, okay, wow, the pilot is a liar. The first destination. That's not what it says on the ticket. You're lying. Okay, what am I going to do in Belgium? You're not going to say that, are you? You know, you have no business being in France or Belgium. I mean, it's only a transit in there. But you know, the final destination is where you have paid the ticket for this. Like you say, God speaks to us based on, you know, the future, where He's already waiting for you. But then, how do I get there? You know, you have to be willing. You have to be willing. You know, and also you mentioned about gender as well, which is interesting because there are some even believers, they've been prophesied great things about God.
Yeah.
But again, because of culture and the tribe, they'll be like, well, in my tribe, as a woman, I can't earn more than a man, so I have to stay at my low level. Maybe I need to do this part-time job, even though the man is not really doing that great of a job anyway. But because of tradition or whatever, that, you know, the man will tell them that, in my culture, listen, hey, you can't be higher than me. Pride again. And then the woman will go through years of frustration and wondering and be like, am I good enough to wear? Did I waste my time with this marriage? Well, I might as well obey and be the good submissive wife. Because I mean, it is ridiculous anyway. I still can't believe that it plays up, especially in the kingdom faith, but we still use this thing to kind of infiltrate us that no matter what, even if your man is not working, you don't be hiding anymore. All those kind of, you know, all this type of nonsense. So sometimes people have chosen to settle, to struggle. Now, is that lack of identity? Is that ignorance? Is that silliness on their part? Weakness? Because again, we spoke about the mind. Is that weakness of the mind? Because if you're a woman, you have ambitions. God has prophesied such and such to you. But then you suddenly meet a man that, you know, truly loves you, cares for you. But then, in the process of dating, is like, I do want to marry you and engage you, but because you want to come into my tribe, like, listen, you know, that job that you do is too, we don't have powerful women in our tribe. So I just want you to be a housewife. The moment you marry, you can quit that job. I know you work in a powerful organization. You get 300 grand a year, you know, and me, I'm just making, you know, 15K a year. But that's how it is. We can't allow powerful women. You know, maybe my mom will not like that. And, you know, because when women are powerful, there's too much math. So I don't want that. And it happens. But then the woman will be like, well, okay, then okay, if that's the case, well, that's how it's going to be, because I cannot marry you otherwise. I can't marry you otherwise. We don't tolerate that. Again, that is somebody's destiny that you know that's being stolen. But then is that the fault of the person as well? Because again, in some tribe, these things are not allowed. The woman can only go to a certain level. So they be asking themselves that, is it me? What have I done? You know, does it mean that if I continue my powerful job, I'm not good enough for marriage then? Because a man cannot handle my strength, basically. A man cannot handle what I'm doing. So does it mean I'm not good enough for marriage? Should I downgrade myself in order to lift up, in order to get what I want? Do I have to sacrifice?
No, definitely not. Never do that. Anyone who gets you to downgrade yourself is the wrong partner for you. It's the wrong person for you. Like, how can you ask someone to be a lesser version of themselves in order to compliment you? If that's what it takes to compliment you, then clearly I'm not the one for you. And if that's what your tribe or your tradition states, that women cannot be great, then I question your tribe.
This is obedience, you know. Obedience is
to who?
Yeah, obedience to the man you're gonna submit to.
Oh yeah, obedience, but that's not be obedience to ignorance though. I mean, that's not scriptural. That's like, there's nothing about it that makes sense. And to everyone out there who have been misled by believing that even the Bible states that obey your husband or your man whatsoever, submit to them whatsoever. No, it's not that at all. You submit to them as long as they are in right standing. So if it's pure ignorance or nonsense and rubbish, don't submit to that. Don't submit to nonsense. Don't submit to having a black eye. Don't submit to verbal abuse. Don't submit to any of that. Don't submit to any. I mean, let's be honest to ourselves. What do you get from getting a black eye? from getting your ribs punched up, from being put down on something. What's gonna happen is if you stay in that environment long enough, that's gonna become a part of you. And once you have children, you reproduce that. Just know when you reproduce because they inherit what's in you by default. You know, they're innocent, but by default you reproduce what you have in you, and then some. So, I can't be great. Women can't be great. Come to your job, okay, bye. On your first date, just say bye. Thank you, bye. Yeah, and pay for their dinner as well, and their drink, and their dessert. Pay for it, say bye. Nice, and keep it moving. Find someone who's gonna compliment you. Find someone who's compatible for you. Find someone who's gonna speak life into you. Find someone who's gonna encourage you and pick you back up when you fall. Find someone who's gonna empathize with you, support you during dark times. Someone who's gonna shine light during your dark times. For someone to say like, okay, no, don't be great. Don't be great. But would you find normally someone says, no, don't smell nice, I want you to stink. Don't brush your teeth, you have given that hot breath. No, it's stupid. It's very stupid. You owe it to yourself to become the real you. You owe it to yourself because people's lives depend on what you carry. We all need each other. We all need each other, point blank, period. We all need each other. I need what you have. You need what I have. We all need each other one way or another. So I would say, let the blind stay with the blind. You know, let the ignorant stay with the ignorant. If the ignorant don't want to come to light, they don't want to enlighten themselves and accept the fact that the planet and the world is bigger than their tribe, then okay, lead them to it. Lead them to it. There's more to life than just that. Yeah. Even once you achieve greatness, you set new goals, don't you? I mean, how do you grow and develop? How's the next generation going to develop? Let's take technology, for example. If we stay content and complacent with the phones that we had 15 years ago, which were great at its time, we wouldn't have had this, what we have now.
No chance.
We wouldn't have.
No chance.
People are making films off of their phones now. Who would have thought that would ever happen?
Yeah.
No one thought.
Yeah.
People want like 30,000 for certain cameras to film. For a camera. Now someone can produce a production studio with that money. And use other means to film. So you know, there's come on, man.
No, you're right.
Let's be creative. Let's grow. Let's evolve. Grow.
Right.
Let's expand. So
definitely.
if people choose to be stuck in their ways, then let them be stuck in their way, and you go your way.
No, it's so true. I mean, there's a scripture I love from Isaiah 60. You know, we all know Isaiah 60 verse 1. The amplified version of that, you know, it says, arise from spiritual depression to a new life. You know, arise from spiritual depression to a new life. I love the way it starts because it says, well, arise. It doesn't say wait. Wait for greatness to come and then arise. That means that in your current situation now, again, you spoke about mind. It's always to do with mind. I mean, the mind is such a strong muscle, whatever you can. The mind is so strong. It says, well, arise. You know, it didn't say wait or get a little bit of faith first. It said arise and shine from spiritual depression to a new life. That means that, you know, it's a decision that we have to make. Gideon had to make that decision to believe. Listen, okay, you have spoken, I believe. Gideon had to make that decision. You know, when Angel Gabriel appeared to Mary, what? How's this going to happen? Oh, you don't worry. The Holy Ghost will do the work. The Holy Ghost will do the work. But you are good enough. You have been picked. Sorry. You know, you are blessed and favored among. Say, I've picked you, and that's how God. That's what God did with us. He picked us. So even in your lower state, you are thinking, am I? By this, I'm used to being abused though. So let me just continue to repeat the cycle. No. The reason why you have to arise to a new life is that those cycles have to be broken. And that's how the world will know whether you are good enough or not. You spoke about a lot of these unbelievers that have made it because the belief system, the environment that they grew up in, that's what it is. You know, I mean, take this guy, Donald Trump. Okay, I know a lot of you guys hate him, but I'm just going to use it for an example. Like his family was saying that one of his cousins or nephews or whatever was saying that when they grew up, it was difficult for him to accept defeat because the granddad told him that when if you finish second, you're a loser. The dad will punish them when they will lose. And the cousin was saying that that's why, even if this election is never going to accept defeat. Okay, I know it's bad, it's petty, innit? But
No,
it's
but
like, that's the mindset of the guy, innit? Like, he's a soul lose. Yeah, he doesn't know what it is to lose. Yeah, even he said, the inauguration tomorrow. I'm not coming because he just does not like defeat. He's such a soul loser. But that's how he was brought up. He believes, yeah, I have to do whatever it takes to win. That I'm a winner. Nobody thought will become president anyway, but he still became president. Yeah, he messed up whatever. But how did this guy become president? Is that mindset? None of us feel, for now it's a done deal. The woman is going to win, but then the guy won. So mindset is so powerful. So you have to be like if you're a believer, let the word of God be your companion, and look at the scriptures that build up your faith. And if you're not a believer, it's an invitation for you to come into the faith. That listen, contrary to what you've heard or may have seen, this faith is for champions. Everybody, the moment you enter the faith, God now sees you as a champion. Why? Because your purpose is going to be fulfilled. Don't be like, oh, well, all my life, all I've had is sexual abuse and everything, and I can't seem to come out of that environment. I can't come out, I keep on going back. And isn't it funny? When I was watching a documentary of that guy, that American singer, the abuser,
Okay.
Yeah. Isn't it funny that a couple of the women, you find that when they left here, at times they went back.
Yeah.
I think whoa. When I watched, I was like, what are you going back to? Like, the guy basically abuses you. He gives you a bucket to use to go to the toilet. But one of them actually went, after the mom came to kidnap her, she went back after a few years, and then she finally came out again. Why? Because that's what they've known. And what they've been there, whilst they were there, what was installed in their mind is what? You are not good enough. This is what you do to me. I'm thinking, what could be so perverted? I mean, that you're actually going back. They know that what they're going back to is not good. Because look at the treatment, the things they were saying, and he spoke about abuse as well, women that get, beaten up or whatever. Some of them, they'll call the police. As soon as the police come, I don't want to press charges. Why don't you want to press charges? Again, well, I have to be loyal to the person, but at the detriment of what? Of your life, as we have seen in some cases. Even if it's not death, but you're already dying. You are dead person walking. And that's what's happening. We people have sold their life to people they should never, ever. And if that's the situation now as well, like, again, the Bible says, well, arise and shine. If God can do it for Gideon, then he can do it for you. And don't try and cheat as well.
Yeah.
Don't try and cheat as well. I mean, the other time we spoke about the plan B, and we spoke about the marriage and things like that. Don't try and cheat, because, I mean, remember, it didn't turn out well for Abraham and Sarah when they tried to cheat, by having Hagar. It didn't turn out well. Oh, let me take a shortcut. No. Once you're in the will of God, there's no point in cheating anymore. Because once you're in the will of God, you're going to have the battle. It's not going to happen because, just like you said at the beginning, I've not really seen success around my family. In fact, my family is even telling me, you just pick anything and do it. Pick anything and do it. If you can't be a doctor or whatever, then that's it. You pick anything, do it. If you want to go to the supermarket for 10 years, it's fine. As long as, you've come to Europe, you've got a job. That's what we can say. You pick anything and do it, Or some will take the easy way out. Oh, I want to sell my body. I want to do this illegal stuff. No, don't try and take the easy way out. You taking the easy way is even a confirmation to yourself that you're not good enough. When you really think about it, you might do it out of excitement, but in the long run, why are you taking the so-called easy way out? Well, it's quick money in it. Why? Because you don't believe that you can wait for God to develop you. When they built the Tower of Babel, they tried to do whatever. Look how God came to confuse them. Because when you're in the will of God, like, your purpose will always manifest. So Romans 12:2, be transformed by the renewing of the mind. And how can we tell people also that the renewing of the mind is a lifelong process? Lifelong process. And I mean what? Lifelong process. Look how long it took the disciples to finally get it. They didn't get it after 1 week, after 1 year walking across. They did not get it. If they got it, would they have scattered when he died?
Not at all.
They all thought it was over. They thought it was literally over. They thought, what? This guy deserved this, man. Like, what's going on here? But why did they have to take Jesus to resurrect for them to finally get it? It's an example to us that, you could have those questions, those battles, but God always comes through. And you have to be patient. You have to be patient. He has not deserted you. You know, you're not gonna get it at the first opportunity, but at least you need to see like the road ahead. You know. So I mean, what do you understand by renewing of the mind? So, well, don't be conformed to this world, the patterns of this world. A lot of us we are living in the patterns of this world, and some watching us right now, they may be just living in the studio flat.
Yeah.
You know, and all they see, wow, it's dark. I can't. When I come out, I see trouble. When I'm in, I see trouble.
Yeah.
The pattern is the same. I wake up, I think I have hope. I even go to church, but the message, yes, but the moment I get home, there is nothing in me.
Yeah.
Because I'm still ready to have this conversation with my other friends also. Because there's nothing. But the Bible is telling me, be transformed by the renewing of the mind. Somebody will say, but renew my mind to do what? Look where my family is. I'm the only one here. Like, I'm trying to hold the family together, but look at the job I'm doing. You know, how do I allow my mind to be transformed? How is that going to happen? Like, what would you say to such a person to give them hope?
Yeah, I mean, first of all, the term when you hear the term re, you need to know that we're dealing with a prefix. Renew means like go back to the original way. Bring it back to being new, which means that the state that it's in now is not its original state.
Yeah.
There was a time and place when it was really new. However, it ended up being filled with a whole bunch of junk for years and years and years. It developed into habits. Habits developed into character. Hence why your belief system today is, I cannot do it. I cannot do it. But there's a saying that 21 days of repetition creates a habit. Whether it's exercise, whether it's reading, exercising, whether it's mental, spiritual, or physical, it creates a habit. Be honest to yourself. What do you really want to do in life? What do you really want to achieve in life? And secondly, are you afraid of it? Some people are afraid of their dreams.
Yeah, because to some they be like, well, my dream is going to involve me quitting my job. Like hello, I'm not going to do that. Have you seen my bills?
Yeah, they're scared of it.
So God should understand, surely. So what are you going to say to that?
He understands, but understanding and agreeing are two different things. You know, I understand to a certain
degree. They be like, God is not showing me. All this, some will say, but I don't believe in this one step, like I tell Abraham, or fully I tell you where to go. Some will be like, well, God don't work up like that these days. I want to see the full roadmap, because I cannot take the first step. I tried to take the first step 2 years ago. I lost my work, and I couldn't do anything. So what step can I, God doesn't work like that anymore. I want to see the full blueprint.
You want to see the full blueprint? Then study the greats who have made it. There are people out there who have made it. We have social media now. Post it. Is there anyone who has ever been able to achieve this? Is there anyone who runs their own business who started? I would like to hear your story. Reach out to people. You'll reach out about the pain that you're going through, all kind of junk and nonsense that some people ignore. You'll post all kind of things, but post what you really want. Yeah, you don't need to necessarily say it's for you, but is there anyone out there who knows of? Is there anyone who has been through this? True. I would like to hear from you. True. Go on YouTube and find out people's success stories. It's out there. Research some of the greats. Read their biographies. See what they went through. You mentioned something earlier. Blueprint. I believe everyone should have a blueprint for their life, for your business. Create a business plan. A business plan will tell you each steps. And there's people who specialize in doing that. Reach out to them. They might charge you a fee, but that's their expertise. That's what they know. That's their lane. Yeah, go to them. Yeah, they'll understand. It's a business. They'll tell you how to start. Okay, in your current situation, this is what you have. This is what you don't have. So based on that, this is what you can do. Yeah, you'll need to do this, but you won't be able to do it until maybe 8 months down the line. Once you do this particular thing, however, it's going to require this sacrifice. Everything comes to a sacrifice. Greatness, it comes at sacrifice. It comes at a price. Nothing's free in this world. Nothing. You have to give something in order to gain. That's just how life works.
Look what Paul went through, man.
Yeah.
Paul was doing well as a Pharisee, but he had to go through a total that's the kind of his brain had to be washed again with the word of God. He had to go through a total turnaround. To now work for the good side, He was on the other side, but he had to humble himself.
Yeah. So even do this, challenge yourself. Yeah. Write down something that you believe you can't do that you would like to do. Obviously, we have our limits as human beings. There's stuff that we're not good at. And acknowledge those. But I'm talking about the ones where I would love to do it, but I don't believe I can do it.
Yeah. Well, I'm called to do it, but then.
And then challenge yourself to actually do it. Yeah. In private, challenge yourself. I can't do 20 push-ups. Challenge yourself to actually do it to get there. I can't read a whole book within a... No, challenge yourself in order to get there. I can't learn this, but challenge yourself to actually get there in private. Yeah. Discipline yourself. Do it on a daily basis and you'll just see the results are there. Repetition is a principle, and principles guarantee results. No matter who you are, no matter what your faith is, your background, your ethnicity, the color of your skin, your height, your gender, principles guarantee results.
Yeah. So would you say then that it's never? Would you then say that it's never really too late? Then is it?
It depends.
Well, yeah, obviously it depends. So obviously, I'm not going to say, I'm 75 years old. I want to get pregnant. I'm a woman, like my friend, like, you know, my friend, calm down. You know, you want to doubt what's giving birth. But in terms of like assignments and inspiration, would you say that?
Yeah, it's not too late.
It's never really too late until we decide.
Yeah, what makes it too late? You know,
they'll be like, well, I have kids. I'm tired now. I get tired. In my family, when we have 2-3 kids, we were supposed to get tired. I hear even some people tell me that, oh well, be careful, you know, because if you are 40, you have kids or 35, you know, the way you're gonna chase them, you're gonna be tired and things like that. Oh, you're not married yet. Oh, you guys are not married. You're not married yet. You need to be married quickly because you know you're gonna get old. You start growing white hairs and because this is our normality. You see, it's always about this normality thing. We never focus on the one who have done it outside of the box. You always focus on because what? Again, like you said, that's what we are seeing. That's what we are used to. But our God is a God of outside of the box. Again, look at it with Abraham. Look at it with Christ. You know, they'll be like, who's this guy qualified to teach who? But yeah, they were still going to listen to him. You know, so how can we always see outside of the box? And most importantly, though, how do we shut down the voice of the negative sayers, especially when they are coming from your own household? Even though Jesus showed us, he promised us that it will come from your own, the biggest doubters will be from your own household. That's why you have to separate himself. But how, as modern day believers, how do we shut these voices down? Especially in our cultures, again, where we are told respect. But I want to tell you, you're not good enough, How do I need to retaliate to tell them to listen, be quiet? Or do I need to just zip it until I show them? Because sometimes it gets frustrating. Even if you say nothing, what are you doing today? You still but come on, you as well. We're still waiting. What I told you to do that. Keep that simple job in there. You want to go and study 3-4 years. I told you should have done that job. It was making you money. Now look what you're doing. Now we are waiting for money. We are waiting for money. What's the money? We are waiting. How do you shut these voices down?
How? Okay.
Because it's tough.
You shut it down by doing this. If someone doesn't understand the language that you speak, but yet they come to you and decide to have an opinion on that language, would you argue back with them? You don't understand. I understand what I'm doing. I understand the sacrifice. I know where I need to go. I understand the purpose, the vision. I know my destination. You don't. So everything that you're saying, whether your intentions are good or not, everything that you're saying it in total ignorance because you don't understand what I'm going through, but yet you're speaking. You're speaking on lack of knowledge.
But they be like, well, I've been there before. You've been there before. Your uncles have been there before.
Okay,
they've not succeeded. They've been in the country for 35 years. So what makes you think?
Okay, your failure is not my story. Simple as that.
They be like, CEO, you're being arrogant again.
No, it's not arrogant. It's okay. Like, I'll ask you, what's preventing you from carrying me on?
Like, whoa.
Like, what's stopping you? Is it because you haven't made it? Is it because you're bitter? Like, you feel like because you haven't made it?
See, they'll be like, you're getting rude now.
I'll ask the question. I'll ask the question. Yeah, is it because you haven't made it that you don't want to see me achieve it?
They'd be like, I care for you too much to see you waste your time because it's been 5 years.
Okay,
you're working on that one business. 5 years, you haven't seen the results.
That's what it takes.
But your uncles, they've given up. But your uncles, they're not making. You know, they might not do what they like, but they're making. At least they have money. They're paying their bills.
My story is different. My story is different. For example, like you know, in some cultures, some people's certain age groups, their life partners were chosen for them, recommended for them. Not me. No, not me. I'll choose who I want because I want them, because I'm attracted to them, and because I want to be with them. And above that, because we are compatible. You can have 1,000 recommendations if you want. Like, yeah, keep it to yourself. I ain't asking. Yeah, like, you ain't hooking me up. If it's business, a business venture, yes, fine, bring it on. A woman, what do I look like? No, I'm grown. I can tie my own shoelaces. Thank you very much. That's just me. You may mean well, but it doesn't mean that you should impose your ways on me. Yeah, don't impose. And by displaying a lack of understanding and then criticizing what I'm doing, you're undermining me. So automatically what happens is I will put a wall there, and I advise everyone, put a wall on anyone who undermines your purpose, your calling, what you've been assigned to do in life.
Even if they don't know they're doing it, even if they actually really mean well.
If they don't know they're doing it and they keep on doing it, that shows that they feel like they know better than you in that particular situation, which is not the case. You don't.
No, they say because they're caring and they're concerned.
Yeah, sit down.
So they keep banging on it.
Yeah, let's have a conversation. Let's reason. Yeah, once you reason with someone,
that's a good one. Yeah,
the rapport is there, and you'll be able to understand why they're doing what they're doing. Unless they're totally crazy and what they're doing is not working, then that's fine. But it'll even get to a point in time where you say, you know what, I've spoken to you, I've given you advice and counsel, and you chose not to listen to it. Then you may just have to learn the hard way. And some people may need to learn the hard way in order for them to say, you know what, they spoke to me, I didn't listen, and now I've experienced it. I'm going to listen now. So reason with people, don't be quick to undermine people, and know that your advice is advice. It doesn't necessarily mean that it's going to be the right thing. It's your advice. Yeah, your counsel is your counsel. Yeah, it may be good, but it may not be right for that particular individual. Your opinion is your opinion. Even though it may be good, it may not necessarily be right for that particular individual. So please, let's not impose. Yeah, let's speak to people. Yes, you may have come into this planet before me, but it doesn't mean that you are always going to be right. Never. And there's no shame in admitting that, you know what, I was wrong when I said this. There's nothing wrong with that. But some people want to be wrong and strong. So even when you see that, okay, something's working for the person, but because of your ego and your reputation, you're still going to want to speak against it and have someone fail just to save your ego and your image. That's wrong. So at times, a lot of the problem is actually the leaders of houses. When I say leaders of houses, I speak of it could be your CEO in your organization. It could be your mother. It could be your father. Where they actually kill your dream. You know, they suppress your potential. They don't allow you to maximize your potential because they believe that things have always been done in one particular way and things should carry on in one particular way. No one goes above this level. It's crazy. It's ludicrous to think outside of these ideologies. It's silly to think that you'll ever earn 3 times the amount that, you know, I've been able to earn this past 20, 30 years. No, why not? Are we allergic to greatness now? No, just because it's different, it doesn't mean it's wrong.
That's what it is, though.
Find out. There's so much more to learn. There's so many new inventions that's been created. So many new ideas, new businesses that's been created. In the pandemic alone, so many people were able to create new businesses. Without that pandemic, they wouldn't have been able to. So sometimes a crisis can happen to break tradition and force people to come out their comfort zone and maximize their potential. And birth out what they're carrying inside them.
No, so that's so real. That's so real. Because you see, sometimes you never know what you're capable of until you're really pushed. And this pandemic has shown that people have started that business on the side. They've started so many things. People have, you know, people have gone on YouTube and teaching fitness videos. Some have done homework for kids. You know, you never know what you're capable of, you know, until you are really, really pushed. And that's the message that God is always trying to speak to us about. You know, when there's nothing left. You know, one thing I love is that when faith is all you have to rely on, know that, you're in good company. Because then you know that it's really going to turn out, you know. But you have to understand and believe that the one who has called you, that's believe that you are good enough. Because you was created good enough, you know. That's the point of you being created. Adam was created good enough. That's why we were all made in his image and his likeness. Yeah, even though sin came, the curse came and that we were still in his image and his likeness. You know, that's why you have to make sure that, no, I need to bring a second Adam. because I need to bring these guys back to Eden. I need to bring them back to how it was with Adam. I need to do that because that's the original plan. Why would he create Adam with fault? Why would God create you with fault? It don't make sense. And I know there are some of you watching, you're going to be thinking, well, really? I was not created with fault? Well, I stutter, I stammer, I can't speak properly, you know. I have problem. Sometimes I faint. Sometimes I get, you know, I just get so hot. I'm too nervous. I can't keep jobs. I can't, you know. Some say I can't. But remember, there's a purpose. Your stammer doesn't mean it's going to stop you from fulfilling your purpose. If God still thinks you have a purpose, what is your stammer going to do with it? What is your lack of, I don't know, oh, I can't read, I'm dyslexic. What has that got to do with it? There's an arena that God has for you, you know, but you have to trust the one who has called you. You know, when in Luke 5, when he asked Peter to fish after his boat to preach, you know, Peter first said, nah, we've taught all that to the point of exhaustion. But then he says, well, at your word, that means there must be something. Again, that's what I'm saying, that when faith is all you have, know that, you know, just submit. That's all, because we are good enough, because we have been called. Remember that you have been called. You didn't call yourself, you have been called. So again, yeah, what Patrick said is true. Be careful who speaks into your mind. Be careful who speaks into your mind. Seeds are being sown. Seeds are being sown. And that's the worst thing about it, especially if you are not praying. Because then, listen, I heard someone say the fact that, you know, you are not sowing in your field doesn't mean that seeds are not being sown in your field. It doesn't mean that at all. Remember that the fact that you are not sowing, it doesn't mean that things are not being sowed. And that's why a lot of us, we start that I'm not good enough. How come? What would you wake up all of a sudden you are depressed? What has been sowed whilst you were sleeping? What would you wake up all of a sudden? It's like, what's happening here? You want to have an argument with yourself. You are so moody and that things have been sowed. All of a sudden it's like, this interview I've been called to. No. I remember where I'm coming from. Who sowed that seed in you? The night before, you was all prepping for the interview. You're ironing your clothes and that. But when you wake up, you begin to ask yourself questions. That these things don't just happen. That's why it's so important to always cover yourself with prayer. And again, like Patrick said, be careful who speaks into your life. Be very, very careful. I was taught by a leader, can I, you know, I just want to do a program to encourage young people. No, you can't do that. No, you have to submit to more training. You have yourself to more training. I'm like, boss, how many years has it been? You know, all that. Why? Because the person, you know, when someone doesn't want to see you, or doesn't want to what's it called, for you to begin to believe that, that was actually good, you know, and that's what I'm saying. Be careful who speaks into your life. You could be the person you're under at work, at church. Be very, very careful. Be very, because haters are everywhere. And they're going to be close to you. For someone to tell you, nah, it's not your time here, repeatedly, but yet they are not preparing you for your time. But they tell you it's not your time yet. But they are doing nothing to prepare you. Why? Because they don't want to see your platform get erected. That is wrong. That is the wrongest thing ever. And it's happening to many of you guys. And that's why I said, in this pandemic, I've said it as a joke, but listen, this is the best time for you to leave some places where you're not supposed to be. It's time for you to speak to God about it. Do I belong in this environment? Do I belong in this church? Do I belong in this job? Because I'm not growing. This is the time to do a runner. That we're all meeting online. It's time for you to do a runner, because, you know, we're going to give an account to God for what we're going to give an account. You know, we're going to be judged differently. You know, we're going to have to give an account. You know, our reward is going to depend on our works. God knows, you saved already, but what did you do with your salvation? We have to understand that. Even once we're here, we're still going to be judged on our decisions. That's what we spoke last week, on the marriage stuff, that if I marry in the wrong thing, it can hinder destiny, and God can judge us on that. God can judge us on that, and that's why people have gone into wrong marriages and they've got kids, but then they regret it. Now they're thinking, should I come out, or what if I come out now? That's why I asked you the question last week, or well, if I come out now, you know, because now I want to fulfill my purpose, even though I've got kids there. God, are you still going to bless me if I come out? You know, so we need to understand that, you know, purpose matters, you know. So anyway, as you round up, I've asked you this question on one of the previous meet versus me. I'm going to ask you again. If somebody was to come and ask you, you know, when Jesus was speaking about from the days of John the Baptist till now, the kingdom of God suffered violence, and the violent take it by force. If somebody was to ask you, okay, then how can I relate that to my purpose, me being in the kingdom? Does that mean that I have to do whatever it takes to get where I'm going to be? Does that mean that do I have permission to cheat then, like Abraham and Hagar did, and Sarah did with Hagar? Does that mean that if it looks like my time is going, I can do whatever I want? Jesus said the violent take it by force. So can I bully my way to success? Can I lie my way to success then? What's using the word? I'm taking it.
No. Okay. So first of all, we need to understand what that meant.
That's right.
Since today is John the Baptist, the kingdom of God suffer violence and the violent take it by force. First of all, we need to understand that there's no suffering in the kingdom. So second question is now. No, first we need to understand there's no suffering. Then the next we need to understand is what was meant. So in Old English, that was said. If you go to Luke 16, verse, let me make sure I don't misquote this. Luke 16, I think it's 16:19. How do you? Luke 16:19. We see the same verse.
No, it's not
16:16.
16:16. Yeah.
16:16. It said the law and the prophets were proclaimed until John. Since that time, the good news of the kingdom of God is being preached, and everyone is forcing their way into it. Matthew's written to the Jews, Luke written to different audience. So it's written in a certain kind of way. Well, in Old English anyway, suffer violence. So what it means is that since John's come, there's this it's not new because God is eternal. This gospel of the kingdom is being preached. And the impact is so intense and spreading out that people realize this is what we've been missing all along. And they forcefully rush towards it and grab it. In the same way that I was having this conversation exactly 2 days ago. 2 days ago, I was having this conversation Saturday night. And I gave the example of a country that's in poverty, in starvation, famine going on, and they've had no food, on the verge of dying of starvation. Then military troops come and they deliver food and water. What's going to be the reaction of those people who are weak because they have no food and no drink? But once they see that food and drink is coming, how are they going to react to it? Are they going to be, okay guys, calm down?
Some next adrenaline is going to come on them.
Next adrenaline is going to kick in because this is what we need. So a lot of the time, Jesus was giving parables to make people understand kingdom. Yes, you've had good things before, but I'm talking to you about what's essential for you, what you need, and what's gonna take you to where you need to go. That's why you get he'll always get parallel. The kingdom of God is like a man who found, I would say, a treasure in the ground that he was digging, and what he did, he seals it up. He goes, he sells everything that he has, just to buy that land. So that's what the kingdom is like. It's like, you know what? I've had all this stuff, but now I realize what true value is. So I'm selling all of this. I'm getting rid of all of this so that I can have this. So taking it by force basically means this is what's been missing all along. For example, I'm not good enough. There's something missing. I don't know. Once you find out what you need, once you find out this is the bridge to get me there, you're not wasting any time. Once you realize that this is the business plan that I need, you're not wasting any time. Once you find the pin code to your bank account, you're not wasting any time. You're drawing that money out. You're drawing that money out, basically. That's what it is. That's what Jesus is talking about. Once you figure out what's actually needed, and that's why he gives those parables in regards to the kingdom, to make people understand this is what the kingdom is. No, it's not about stuff with violence. So take it back by force. No, that's not what he's talking about. He said people are being forcefully advanced into it, and they come and they're taking it by force. Like, yes, here it is. We're taking it. Oh, it's been missing. So we've heard the law, we've heard the prophecies and that, but John the Baptist has been preaching. I mean, the Pharisees will come to where John was preaching. Pharisees, they preach where at the synagogues, where the top dogs are at, where the big boys are sitting. Right. So if you can make it there, like, yeah, you've made it. John wasn't like around the corner. He was in the wilderness preaching. But they left where they were and they went all the way there to sit down and listen. I'm like, okay, who are you? Are you Elijah? Are you Jeremiah? Are you the Messiah? No, there must have been some substance in what he was teaching. Otherwise, they wouldn't have went there.
No, they wouldn't.
Yeah. And he's baptizing as well. Yeah. And then who comes to submit to him? The Messiah himself comes and sits under that class. Yeah. And then starts teaching what that teacher was teaching. That's why he said, among those born of woman, none has risen greater than John the Baptist, because this guy is teaching the kingdom, and this guy baptized the Messiah, introduced the Messiah to everyone. Yeah. So realize, identify what you need, and once you identify, grab it with both hands and run with it. Yeah? Run with it. Knock down every obstacle that gets in your way. Knock it down. Knock it down, knock it down, knock it down, regardless of who's coming from. If it's words of discouragement, knock it down, regardless of who's coming from. With respect, obviously. I'm not saying go out there and disrespect people. Don't disrespect your leader, don't disrespect your parent or whatnot. I'm not saying that, but knock it down. If you need to say, you know what, with all due respect, I can't receive what you're selling me because it goes against my purpose. It doesn't align with where I need to go. It doesn't support my destiny. So therefore, I cannot allow the seed to come in and impregnate me. Yeah, I'm already pregnant. So if you're gonna sow any good seeds, let it be vitamins. You know, let it be nutrition for what I'm carrying, so that when it comes time for delivery, there's no illnesses, there's no sicknesses, there's no defect. What I birth out is not going to be deformed. It's not going to be undefiled. I need it to be pure right now. I need to eat the right food, drink the right drink, do the right exercises. I need to do the right thing right now. I'm in the process. So unless you're going to speak something that's in alignment with what I'm trying to do, please keep your opinions to yourself. And if you don't know, then it's okay to say you don't know. If you want to go and do research and not to help me, you're welcome to do that. But you are not obliged to support me and help me. Whether you're my brother or my sister, my cousin, auntie. Yeah, because that's what's going to happen. Like those who are around you, who you may have thought would have supported you, sometimes you'll find that those are the ones who are speaking against it, because they don't understand why you're doing what you're doing. Because you're not me. You're not going to understand everything that I do. You're not going to. Same way, I'm not going to understand everything that you do. Yeah, it's you. There's something about you that's uniquely to you, that's private to you. Yeah, you're created and designed individually. Yeah, there's no one on earth that has the same fingerprints as you. No one. Only you have that. It's exclusive to you. So certain ways are gonna be exclusive to you as well. That's what I gotta say.
Yeah. So yeah, that's awesome. You know, and on that note, just let us realize that yes, we are good enough. Yes, it's gonna be a tough year, challenging year, but everybody has gone through tough and challenging times before. It's happened. You read the Bible. It's happened. There's been pandemics before. There's been wars, famines. But yeah, God used his prophets to do things. Even in during famines, he always used somebody. He always used people, you know, to basically address the situation, to make things right. And he's looking for you and I to make things right. He's looking for you and I to become that light to this world that is in darkness right now. He's not looking for you and I to join. Oh God, yeah, he's done for me too. No, he has told you that you and I, we are good enough. Let's remember that we are good enough. So like I said, for me, my theme this year is, you know, light, you know, because this is the year where it's going to set us up for our light to shine, for people to be like, how did you manage to do this during this pandemic? You know, maybe your season is going to come in July, in May, in March, in September even. You don't mean that, oh my God, 6 months, 7, 8 months. What do I do? You know, again, there's a blueprint. God has a blueprint. So let's just be proud in who we are and take responsibility for who we are, and ask God for the Holy Spirit for help to keep us disciplined, to keep us from procrastination, because those things that have chased us before, they're going to be around just to wait for the opportunity to drag us back. Again, the enemy has to do his job. That's something we always forget. The enemy has to do his job. He has to do his job. You know, he doesn't procrastinate.
There you go. He doesn't.
He don't procrastinate.
He seizes the opportunity with both hands. With both hands. He ain't sleepy. He's gonna do it. And I like what you said earlier. Just because you're not sowing any seeds in your life, it doesn't mean that someone else isn't. Put it this way: your opposition is sowing seeds in your life. There's people who don't like you, and you wouldn't even know. Some of them are the ones who smile in your face. Some of them are people that you've never met before, who watch you at a distance, but they don't like you. So, what are the chances of someone sowing seeds, negative seeds, who doesn't like you? The chances are high.
So high.
The chances are high.
Yeah, because they gotta make sure they cover everything so that you don't rise.
The chances are high. Look, there's over 6 billion people on this planet. Out of those 6 billion people, how many do you think don't like you? That you don't know. Out of 6 billion people, there could be a decent number. Yeah. Even if it's just 3.
Mm-hmm.
But imagine those 3 people who don't like you, who you don't know, sowing negative seeds in your life.
Oh yeah. Because in a
And
spirit,
then-
it's an agreement.
There you go.
In a spirit, it's an agreement. Like you said, in a spirit, principles work. In a spirit, it's an agreement, whether good or bad. As long as these 3 come into agreement, and we are there sleeping, imagine what's being sold in our fields.
There you go.
Yeah.
You need to do that. There's people who want you to succeed. There's people who don't care whether or not you succeed. And there's people who don't want you to succeed. Know that. Always know that. This one. And there's some people who want you to succeed, but they haven't found you yet.
Wow,
Yeah.
that's deep. Yeah.
There's people who are looking for you. They're looking for you. Yeah. They're looking for you. So make yourself available. Get out there.
That's so true.
Get out there.
That is so true.
Yeah. There's people who are built to help people. Yeah. And they're waiting for that individual that has your potential so that they can find them and say, there they are. So, you know.
Okay, so how's a woman? See, I'm going to start trouble again. Oh, they're looking for me because if available. A woman will be like, oh, well, a man is supposed to look for me. How do I make myself available? I don't want to dress cheap. I don't want to wear.
Within reason. When I
so
say
how,
that within reason,
yeah.
Operate in your purpose, in your function.
Okay.
So if I'm
not talking about physically looking, I'm talking about the other side. How do I make myself available?
Yeah, I mean, like, operate in your function.
Okay.
In your purpose.
Okay.
So if I'm supposed to be a coach,
Mm-hmm.
let me be a coach. Let me not just sit there in my house and not do. Let me be a coach, do the right thing. Encourage people, whether it's sports coaching, life coaching, it's all coaching. Operate in your work, operate in your calling, in your job. You will be seen. You will be seen. You'll be connected to the right people. Yeah, it's a connection. Like, a wife is a partner. Destiny helper is a partner. Whether it's someone that's going to invest in your business, whether it's someone who's going to be your life partner and invest in your life and you have children together, you need to allow yourself to be seen. But I don't mean just go out there and start showing up and hope, okay, I'm coaching, who's looking around, and as a woman, don't go out there cleavage out. No, not like that. Yeah, be presentable, have integrity, and operate in your purpose. Yeah, know yourself, know what your purpose is, know what your potential is, utilize it. And by doing those, you'll be heading in the right way and reach your destiny eventually. It's not easy, but it's worth it.
That's right. That's right. God bless you guys. We
God
hope
bless.
you guys will enjoy this segment, and yeah, stay on top, and don't go depressed when things go wonky.
Yeah.
You're on the right track. Things are supposed to go wonky.
Yeah.
Let the haters come. Let even your loved ones
Yeah.
criticize you. It means, woo, I'm on the right track finally, because they are pushing you. Let that anger drive you to succeed. So God bless you. From me, Hamed Madimba.
I'm Patrick Nzonzi.
Bless you, me versus me.
We'll see you. We'll catch you guys next time.